Am I the asshole for kicking my husband out? I, female 27, and my husband, male 29, have been together since high school. And he has this friend, female 28, that I'll call Lily. They never really hang out, and she is engaged, so I never thought anything of it. My husband and I have a 6-year-old daughter, and she is my pride and joy. One day, my daughter had this sleepover at her friend's house, and I went to talk with the mom because she is cool, and we ended up drinking wine and talking all night. I ended up falling asleep, leaving my husband home alone. A few weeks later, I come home from work, and he and Lily are on the sofa waiting for me. My husband kisses me and says that he loves me. Then Lily says that she is pregnant. I asked her how far along, and she said about 4 weeks. I, being the idiot I am, asked if her fiance knew. She said no, because it wasn't his child. I got confused. Then my husband started apologizing. Whenever I'm upset, I tend to get violent. I pushed him to the floor and yelled for him to pack his stuff, but he wanted to explain. Apparently, he felt alone that night that I went and had that sleepover. So Lily came over to watch a movie. She started talking about how her fiance couldn't meet her needs, and then she approached him, and they slept together. I then went upstairs and started packing his things, and he begged and pleaded with me. I kept saying, "How could you? I thought you loved me," and stuff all along those lines, and he kept trying to hug me as I started crying hard. I felt betrayed because I loved this man. He was the man of my dreams, and yet he cheated on me. After I got myself together, he told me to take my time and think about all of our good times, and he said it was a mistake and that he will never make it again, and that I'm the woman he wants, not her, and stuff along those lines. But I told him I wanted him to leave and that I'd call him if I wanted to make up. And he got angry, but said, "Fine, you're making a huge mistake. You know we need each other." I spent the last few days missing him a lot. He came over for Christmas and gave me gifts and our daughter gifts, and I still love him and I want to forgive him, but I don't trust him anymore. Over the time we separated, we have hooked up multiple times because he'd come over and hug me and stuff, and it would just happen. Should I forgive him or should I just end it and get over it? It's been 2 months since he left and he is sleeping at his parents' house. Unfortunately, Lily did have a miscarriage, but he didn't talk to her. I only found out from her fiance because she told him she was pregnant and so on. Also, only his parents and Lily know my husband and I are going through it right now. Also, sorry for the bad grammar and title. Am I the asshole for not wanting to have sex with my husband right now? I, 28 female, just gave birth to our second child 4 weeks ago. I'm happy in my marriage and have been feeling great postpartum. However, I'm the default parent for the baby since I am exclusively breastfeeding. I get up in the night by myself, change diapers, do naps, tummy time, all the stuff by myself. I'm recovering still from a fully spontaneous vaginal birth, and since I am doing all of the things for the new baby alone, while my husband, 27 male, cares for our oldest, 4 female, and does the housework, I don't have much time to shower, do self-care, etc. My husband asked me if I could give him a blowjob or a hand job, and I said no. He seemed confused and a little hurt, not angry. I feel bad because I did make a face when I said no, and I didn't mean to, but after 24/7 nonstop newborn care, leaky boobs, vaginal bleeding, etc., the last thing I'm worried about is getting him off. I feel terrible because the last time we had sex was about 2 months ago. We just have so much going on. I genuinely do not have it in me to have my face fucked or to give a hand job when I'm barely sleeping and showering appropriately. Am I the asshole? Am I the asshole for stopping helping my wife with our newborn's night routine because she disrespected me in front of our friends? Or am I the asshole for telling my wife that our lifestyle will drastically change when she starts working again? My wife, 32, and I, 36 male, had our baby boy 2 years ago. When she got pregnant, we made a deal. She will stay with our boy the first 2 years, and after that, we will swap, and I will be a stay-at-home dad until he starts school. 2 years have passed, and I will keep my promise and will be out of my job by the end of July. Just to get that straight right out of the way. My wife has found a new job, but here's where the problem starts. She will make significantly less money than I did, but she seems to be completely oblivious and in denial about it. Whenever the topic was brought up by me, she just shrugs it off. When I told her today that we have to reduce our running expenses by a good amount, she got angry and accused me of trying to make her feel guilty and miserable. I didn't do any of this. All I wanted to do was make a mutual decision with my partner regarding our finances. We will have $800 less to spend per month, and that, of course, means that things will have to change. But again, she does not care and does not want to hear anything about it. She called me an asshole for bringing it up and literally said that I am forbidden about talking about it. She really thinks I want to guilt trip her into staying at home when I already quit my job. I think she is immature and irresponsible. Am I really the asshole here?
I've hurt my wife deeply and I need help fixing it. I'm 21 male and my wife 22 female have been together since we were in middle school. We have loved each other unconditionally the entire time, but I've been slowly slipping and screwing up time after time, and I need help to fix this and build our relationship back to what it was before, but make it stronger and better. Here are the biggest things that happened to lead us to now. We talked about a push present for when my son was born, but I didn't get her anything for it, even after she expressed wanting one, and I had told her that I'd get her something. In my defense, I was about to be deployed, so it was a lot going on, but still, it was our first child and she didn't want anything big, just something that showed I cared for her and loved her. I told her that I'd make it up to her and never did. First Mother's Day, she celebrated as a new mom. I didn't do any decorations, and I got her only a bakeware pan that was shipped broken. She liked the dish, but it was broken. I told her that I'd return it for a new one, and I never did. I told her that I'd make it up to her and never did. She gave me a very intimate gift for Valentine's Day, and I showed little to no reaction. We were already having a few issues in bed due to ED caused by stress and anxiety, so she was trying to help by giving me a sexy photo book that she put a lot of effort into. I told her that I'd make it up to her and never did. Then, more recently, we had a date planned for lunch on the day that I had off. She would be out of work for lunch around 12 to 12:30. I went to a card shop about 20 minutes away from her work thinking that I was right down the road. We recently moved, so I was confused, but still. Well, she was so happy to see me and go on this date just to walk outside and realize I wasn't there and wouldn't be there for another 20 minutes. I told her that I'd make it up to her and never did. If you haven't noticed the pattern yet, I have a problem with saying I'll make it up to her and then dropping the ball over and over again after dropping the ball on major things. I don't want to lose my wife because of the broken promises and selfishness. The straw that broke the camel's back though was New Year's actually. We planned on spending time together for New Year's, and instead, I was selfish and played online with my cousins for hours, which ate away at our time together. Then when she expressed she was upset about it, I didn't even try to talk to her about it. I pretty much just shrugged and tried to move past it. Then we just went to get ready for bed. Missed the clock turning to midnight, no kiss or anything, just let it pass. I let my wife go into New Year upset and questioning if I truly loved her or if I was with her for convenience. I love that woman more than I can express in any conceivable manner. I would do anything for her. I would hike the tallest mountain just to get her the flower that she wants at the top that only grows there. I would give her the clothes on my back and the breath in my lungs to make sure that she was comfortable and could breathe. She's an absolute angel. She's given me every chance every time. She's the smartest, sweetest, most beautiful, amazing woman that I've ever known. She still gives me butterflies when I look at her, when I think of her, when I kiss her. She loves me and shows me how much she loves me. I never questioned our love, and I cannot ever forgive myself for making her question mine. Why do I keep messing up and hurting us both? I need help. How do I fix this? I never want her to question my love for her or our relationship again. I feel like I'm losing the love of my life. She's perfect in my eyes, my dream girl. I don't want to lose her. I can't lose her. Am I in the wrong for insisting that my niece pays for my daughter's surgery? My niece, Andy, 19, baby, 15 months, grabbed a hold of my daughter's, Kayla, 13, earring at Christmas and ripped it out completely. The earlobe will require plastic surgery to fix to look nice again. It is said to be around $2,000 in the ER, but the nurse said that she can't give me the exact quote and gave me some recommendations for plastic surgeons. The ER trip was a nightmare on Christmas, and it was a 2-hour wait when my daughter was in pain. The whole time I was waiting there, my sister or Annie didn't even bother texting my daughter or me to apologize or to even see how she was. My husband, me, and my daughter are so mad at them, and I want to take Annie to court if she doesn't pay for the surgery. The surgery would be considered elective because our insurance is labeled as cosmetic and it would come out of our pockets. Annie said that she can't afford to pay for the surgery even though her baby just walked up to my daughter unexpectedly and ripped her earrings out of her ear. They said it was an accident and things like that happen. I have 3 children, and none of them have ever done something like that, and I would be embarrassed if they did, and I would apologize and offer to pay. My sister called me a bitch for even suggesting that Andy pay because Andy is saving up to move out. I don't think my request for money is unreasonable, but Andy and my sister have blocked me from texting them, and my husband is insisting that if we're forced to go to small claims, he wants pain and suffering added to the surgery bill because my daughter's ear hurts so much and Andy never once expressed concerns over Kate's injury. Am I in the wrong for not wanting to share my birthday with my dead twin anymore? I, 16 female here, soon to be 17 in 3 days. I was a twin. My brother died hours after birth. He was 5 minutes older than me. I was told my mother went into deep depression, but with help got better over time. I've watched videos of my birthdays from 1 to 6 years old, and me sharing my birthday with my brother has started since my first birthday. There's always that 5 minutes of remembrance and honor for him, and instead of having one candle on my cake, there will always be extra or extras for him. As a kid, I didn't really understand or mind it because I got to blow out extra candles. When I was 8, I did question it, and they told me that it was in remembrance of my brother since we share the same birthday. This carried on until my 16th, that I didn't get to celebrate because I ended up being in the hospital. My grandpa showed up at the hospital while I was recovering and wished me and only me a happy birthday. After he left, I realized I love that he only acknowledged me. I realized I didn't want to keep sharing my birthday with my brother, but then I felt guilty. I did try to speak to my parents about just me celebrating my birthday this year, but I was brushed off. Now we come to what happened 4 days ago, and my grandpa, who was the official cake maker in the family, asked what type of cake I wanted. I told him and added firmly with only 17 candles, please. My parents were in the next room, and immediately they came in demanding to know what I was doing, that I should know that the other 17 candles were there for my brother, and I ended up crying and told them that he's not even here and I am. I can't remember everything that was said, but there was a lot of shouting with me and my parents and my grandpa, and me being told that I'm selfish and need to stop being self-centered. My grandpa left with me. I've been at his house since the big fight. I've been crying a lot and Grandpa has been here for me, but I feel so guilty and need to ask, am I in the wrong?
My 25 male girlfriend, 26 female, broke down in tears because I didn't get one item from our grocery list. We're supposed to have supper. Let's say spaghetti with cheese on top. Not really, but I don't want to get too specific. And I didn't get the cheese. Some might say it ruins the whole dish, but some might not care too much if it's there or not. So we were out shopping together, and as we were going down the grocery list, I asked my girlfriend if we want to get the cheese, to which she says no. We finish shopping, go back home, and I start making the dish while she showers. She gets out. I let it simmer for a bit, and I go shower. Once I get out of the shower and I'm about to serve it, she suddenly asks if we bought cheese. I look at her and say we didn't. I say I even asked her if we should get it, and she said no. She says she thought I was asking her about something else. To be fair, what I asked her and what she said she heard is different by one syllable in our language, and both of these things could go together with the dish I made. I assume she did mishear me. At this point, she gets up and says she's not going to eat it. She got some leftovers from the fridge and went to the other room to eat. I figured it's best to let her be alone for a while, so I ate part of what I made for the evening. After some time, I go check on her, and she's laying in bed, crying her eyes out. I was taken aback, as this was not the reaction I expected at all. I tried talking to her, but she both refused to eat it without cheese and didn't want me to go and get it now. She was extremely upset and still crying a lot. She told me she was very hungry and didn't eat much throughout the day, and now she feels even worse because we went shopping together. Then she waited for me to put the dish together, but in the end, she couldn't even eat it. I know it sucks to not eat much throughout the day, so I kind of understand where she was coming from. I decided that at this point in time, there's not much else I could do but go and get the cheese, which I did. I came back and found her eating some snack that we had left. I asked her if she would like to eat now, that we can heat it up, but she adamantly refused to eat the dish and doesn't want to talk with me either. She earlier said she's going to be sleeping on the couch tonight. If she goes through with it, it remains to be seen. I'm wondering what I could do to try and remedy the situation. Do I just let her be? I'm struggling to fully understand her point of view. As for me, it doesn't matter if a particular ingredient is missing or not. To some extent, I see where she's coming from, but not fully. Any thoughts? Am I the asshole for telling my wife she can work overtime for food if she refuses to eat deer meat? As a lot of you know, food is expensive right now. I was lucky enough to get a deer. I ground it up for ground meat. Basically, when you cook it, you just think it is normal ground meat, especially when you do recipes with spices like tacos. My issue is with my wife. We have 2 kids that are under 7. The oldest is fine eating it, but the youngest hates it now due to my wife. The first time I made some meatloaf with it, and my wife commented that it's Bambi. She doesn't hate the taste, just when she knows it's deer. I know this because she liked the tacos and then refused to eat them after my wife made another comment about Bambi. She was 2 tacos in already. My wife doesn't like to eat it, But I would think she would see that this is to save money and the food is fine, that our kids need protein and meat is so expensive right now. I have talked to her before, but she keeps doing it. I want my daughter to actually have some red meat in her diet since we can't afford to keep buying it. It came to a head today. I made some meat sauce and pasta. My youngest was already eating it, and my wife came in and made a Bambi comment. She refused to eat the rest of her dinner. I had enough and told her I expect her to start working overtime for food since she stops people from eating the deer meat. We got into an argument about it, and she thinks I am a huge jerk and disgusting for the deer meat. Am I the asshole? Would I be the asshole for telling my husband I'm disgusted with him? I, 26 female, literally cannot take this anymore. My husband, 26 male, does not brush his teeth. Like he hasn't brushed them at all in months.
That's a problem.
The last time was when he went out with a few friends. I hold my breath anytime he's near my face. I hold my breath every time we kiss. I'm laying here right now in disgust because I was facing him and the odor just slapped me so hard I almost passed out. I've mentioned it a few times and I feel like he gets really defensive. Initially, I was blaming it on depression, but at this point, it's been months and I'm tired of giving him excuses. Would I be wrong if I tell him I'm repulsed by him at this point? We've been married 5 months and I can't take it anymore. I take showers daily and he can go days without one. I hate laying next to the odor. I've tried to be subtle and say, hey, let's tackle our hygiene and overall health together. And before anyone asks, I was not aware of these poor hygiene habits prior to getting married and living together. He seemed very well put together when we are around others, but they don't experience what I have to go through behind the scenes the rest of these months. This is not a joke. This is not for karma points. I am at my wit's end and I need to know how to approach it. I'm just not even attracted at this point.